So 17 films chosen from loads. Let's get into them. Where does the list start?
It kicks off with Amram, directed by Fatih Akin. Variety calls it a poetic and elegantly spare, a World War II drama.
Okay, and the premise. It focuses on a 12-year-old Hitler Youth member. That sounds complex. Okay, moving to something quite different, it seems. Bono, Stories of Surrender.
Right. Directed by Andrew Dominik, it's a film of Bono's 2022 solo stage show. Handsomely shot, apparently.
So Bono telling his life story on stage, the article mentions ambition, passion, celebrity.
Charity, hypocrisy, even his demons specifically, a difficult relationship with his father, it's all in there.
Which brings us to Kristen Stewart's directorial debut, right? The Chronology of Water.
Yeah, her first time directing a feature. It's based on Lydia Yuknavitch's memoir.
And that memoir covers a pretty intense life, abusive childhood, finding escape.
Through swimming, drugs, sex, and ultimately writing, it sounds like quite a journey. Okay, let's shift gears to Ari Aster, Eddington.
Ari Aster always expects something unexpected. Variety calls this an audacious sociological Western thriller.
Set in Eddington, New Mexico, during the COVID summer of 2020.
Wow, okay. Timing is everything. And there's a detail about the sheriff, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, he refuses to wear a mask. And that refusal apparently becomes a major trigger point in the plot.
Oh boy, that feels very pointed for that specific time. Okay, next up.
Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest.
Based on Kurosawa's High and Low, right? But updated.
Yeah. Denzel Washington plays a hip-hop mogul, David King. A kidnapping happens and he has to reevaluate everything.
And the ending is different from the original.
Significantly different climax, yeah. Variety sees it as classic Spike Lee entertaining genre film, but also a kind of soul-searching alarm bell about culture.
Like his role as teacher and truth speaker coming through.
Exactly. They describe him as an elder statesman here.
Makes sense. Okay, let's travel now. Homebound from India, director Neeraj Gaiwan.
Right. A mainstream Hindi language film, which Variety found really vital. It's about young men trying to escape poverty.
Okay, now for a really big one from the festival. The Palme d'Or winner.
Ah, yes. Jafar Panahi's It Was Just an Accident. Huge, especially given his circumstances.
Incredible story. And the film's premise. 5 former dissidents seeking revenge on their torturer.
That's the core. They identify him by his limp, kidnap him, and gather other survivors.
Okay, let's move to Hunter Palmason's The Love That Remains.
Halmatussin, yeah. Known for visually striking work like Godland. This one apparently spirals into surrealism.
It's about a marriage falling apart. Intense. Okay, what about Kelly Reichardt's The Mastermind?
This was the other Josh O'Connor film mentioned earlier. Variety calls it an anti-heist movie.
Anti-heist. Intriguing. What makes it anti?
It seems to be a response to how glamorous heists usually are in movies. Here, a big act, maybe a robbery unravels, not because of drama, but because of, well, everyday life.
Like mundane reality getting in the way. The flaws of an ordinary person.
Exactly that.
Okay, switching locations again. My Father's Shadow, directed by Akinola Davies Jr.
Right, written by Akinola and Wael Davies. Simple structure, just one day.
Following 2 boys and their father traveling from a rural Nigerian village to Lagos.
Yeah, and Variety points out this miraculous double-edged feat. It starts as this intimate family drama.
But then there's a twist. A reveal.
A devastating trick, they call it. It exposes underlying violence and strife, elevating it beyond just a family story into something deeply humanist about Nigeria.
Using that simple setup for a big impact. Sounds effective.